This is Laura, aka the Sound Sommelier, talking with the real Dankery Harv. Dank,
Blessings.
what's your earliest memory of hip hop?
My earliest memory of hip hop, I would say Houdini, um, Fat Boys, Curtis Blow, and Eric B. and Rakim.
But just hearing them like on the radio, do you have like a specific
Um,
memory of?
it's a specific memory.
Mhm.
When they came out with Paid in Full, um, some friends of mine, family, they was big time drug dealers or whatever the case might be.
Mhm.
And Eric B and Rakim came on my block. Um, they came on my block with the Gucci Raider. They had on the Gucci custom outfits.
Mhm.
And as a kid watching them on Yo MTV Raps, and I'm seeing them going in the house, I'm like, what the hell? I'm scratching my head. Is that? And I hit
Mhm.
my boy up front. I'm like, yo, you see Eric B? He like, D, is that Eric B? Right? Went in there, and then years went on as I got to be an adult.
Right.
Um, they Rakim had came to Toronto at the Rock the Bells
Right.
concert, and
Mhm.
a friend of one of my good friends is really good friends with Method Man, and Method Man and Redman was together, and they picked us up on their tour bus, and Rakim was coming out the dressing room, and I was like, oh my God, Rakim. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell? He's like, you ain't never met Rakim? So they took me over there, and I was going through something at the time,
Mhm.
and he embraced me, gave me some love, was like, don't worry about that. We gonna rock again. We gonna rock.
Right.
And next thing you know, a little bit time later, I was opening up for Rakim on a tour through Europe. And he came out the dressing room. I was in the hall. He's like, God, what I tell you? God, I was like, oh my God. Hugged him, embraced him. He's like, I
Mhm.
told you. And it was it was the Most High, it was the Lord that brought it back around. Because I always been a big fan of Rakim and Eric B, Houdini,
Mhm.
Curtis Blow, Fat Boys, Dougie Fresh, MC Light, Queen Latifah, Big Daddy Kane, all the
You love us New Yorkers.
yes, I love you, New York. For me being from Detroit, um, you can ask any of my friends, anybody that know me from Detroit. Um, I imitated the whole thing, the look, everything to the T. Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah.
I still got the parts in my eyebrows. I still do it. I still do it.
A lot of people. A lot of people do.
I used to have the parts all in the front of my head. My face to be this big.
Nice.
If my cousin's still online, my people name me High Top Derek because my face to be this big. If you're like High Top Derek, we're gonna call him High Top Derek. High Top Derek to President Dankworth today. But that was my those classics. Shout out to Frank Mitty.
Mhm.
Um, his mother, when we was kids for Christmas, his mother took me with her to get um, all of the hip hop records that ever came out that year for Christmas.
Nice.
And instead of her buying him the Technique 1200s with the S arm, she
Mhm.
bought the Techniques, but the most expensive ones that was there. She thought them ones was cheap. She thought these
Wow.
ones was better because they had the electric arm. And
Mhm.
so it was expensive. They was
Mhm.
Techniques, but she thought the other ones were cheap, so she got on them.
All
So
right.
the crate was all the classic things. Like never knew that I was going to turn into be a artist. Um, I just liked the culture.
Right.
We was all I was a dancer. We all was dancers before.
Oh yeah, I got that question.
Oh 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 oh.
Okay.
Uh,
Keep
um,
keep going.
we was dancers before MCs, and I think I was like one of the last people to dance. Um, besides a couple of other people, I was one of the last, and I just love to dance.
Mhm.
Dilla, Frank, T3, and by 10, they introduced me to rapping. Um, it was a project,
Nice.
and I had to go home and study the beat and this, that, and the other, and be prepared when we came back to the studio. And when I came back to the studio, um, Dilla put the beat up, and I recorded the song, and they went crazy and shit. They're like, "Oh my God, you hear his voice, you hear his voice. We gonna call him President Dankworth." And then everybody talking about President Dankworth. I'm like, what? Like, okay. And then Dilla was like, he was like, "Nah, we gonna call him Dank." And I was like, "Damn, Dank." Because then back then, I used to be running in the streets,
Right.
doing a lot of different things. My people was notorious drug dealers and shit. And my cousin, they used to give me all this crazy ass weed, and nobody smoked weed at that time.
Frank said the same shit, yeah.
So I would come around, and it used to be so stinky. And they were like, "Yo, what is that smell?" And Dylan would be like, "What the fuck is that smell?" And it was like, "Man, we're gonna call him Dank." Frank's name was Frank. That was Frank's real government name.
Mhm.
Frank was in a group with one of the homies before, and the first song we ever recorded was Young Buck. Um, T3 helped me with the song. T3 was my mentor. I would go over T3 house every Saturday and learn how to rap, how to deliver the rap, because it was a particular way Dilla wanted me to rap over the beats. And T3 was a phenomenal teacher. He took his time with me and showed me how to fucking rap. He showed me how to rap. And the song turned into another song, then another song, and then it paused for a minute. Um, then Dilla started working really good, started coming out to New York a little bit more. And it was one session he had with Q-Tip and Mobb Deep. And he came back from New York, and he was just so pumped. He was like, "Yo, y'all gotta do this, you gotta do this, that, and the other." And I was like, "Holy shit!" And how we used to do it is had to be, when you come to that goddamn studio, you better know your goddamn rhyme, because if you don't lay it one take, you're on punishment. You won't be back there no more. You'll be on punishment. There was
You
no
didn't mess around.
playtime. There was no playtime in the studio.
Mm.
Wasn't glamour and glitz. It was all work. It was tough love. To be great, it's gonna be tough. It's
Mhm.
not no. It's like I tell people, to be a musician is not an easy task. It's not an easy job. I feel as though it's one of the hardest jobs out there, because you don't get paid every week. You don't get paid every 2 weeks, and you only get money when you're actually doing something. It's doing something. So I tell people, don't quit your day job. Don't look at the glamour and glitz of this. If you're gonna do it, study it. Be loyal to it. Take your time. Patience is virtue. This shit does not happen overnight. Whether it's new school, old school, it still don't happen overnight.
Mhm.
It's a journey. Um, some would make it, and a lot won't. Um, that's the task of it.
Mhm.
That's just like in your field. Some will become a dope writer, and some won't.
Yeah.
Basketball players, some will make it, and some won't.
Mhm.
Some people think in their head it's a layup, but once they get right here in this, they fold up and wrap up real quick,
Mhm.
and it's done. You know, yeah.
Ain't that the truth? um, random story. So I was in Miami for the first Dilla weekend, and I was just like hanging out with a friend of mine outside, and I just happened to come upon T3.
Oh, nice.
Not T3, sorry. Young RJ. And
Okay.
I was like, oh hey, so I just interviewed him like right there outside.
Wow, that's dope. That's dope.
That's dope. Dank, which
shout
records?
Cousin,
sorry.
Shout out cousin Young RJ. Yep.
Which records do you remember playing most often in your home when you were younger? Are there any that with you?
Friends, Houdini, One Love, the whole Houdini album, Funky Beat, that album, I don't know, that was one rap album that my mother didn't mind us playing. I don't know what it was. It was just, she just liked it. Certain ones she'd be like, no, don't play that. Don't put that on. There's too much. But that Houdini album, Funky Beat album, that album played the hell out of it in the crib. Like shit. I come home from school, my mama playing it, Funky Beat, Funky Beat. I'm like, yo, mom.
They're so much fun. They're so fun.
I'm like, Mom, take that off. Boy, you better be quiet. She cleaning up. Funky Beat. Like crazy. All the time. That's the classic one. And in my neighborhood, Rockbox, Run DMC. One of the homies, my guy Jose, he used to have a big boombox radio. And he was short. He was maybe about 5'3". And he would see him coming down the block with the Raheem radio. It was bigger than Raheem's. And he'd be like, and all the kids be walking behind and following him. What's up, fam? Shout out to Big Ice. What up, Bill Baby? All the kids be following him, and he be rapping the song. He had this Run DMC hat on, like crazy. But that song and Houdini album was a lot.
Nice.
Yep.
Other than coming up in Detroit, what other factors led to you pursuing a career in music, other than the ones you've already mentioned, I guess?
I would say watching Slum, watching Dilla, T3, and by 10. Those sessions, it's priceless. Actually, those sessions you can't even get in. When it's time for them boys to work, everybody got a vamoose. Because that's the big cousin to our whole thing. Seeing them doing and really seeing James pursue it made me look at it a little bit like, really? Like, I knew he was a genius from when we was kids. 'Cause I know him since 1984. When he used to make pause and record beats on the Ericsson turntable. Too many people can't tell you this story. They'll duplicate the story and try to use the story, but they don't know the story of that. His mother and father bought him this Ericsson turntable. On the top of the turntable is a record player, and on the side is 2 double set takes. He took the rubber piece out in the thing so it to slow it down, so when he paused and record the beats. So what I would do, I hook up a 3-way. Another one of my friends hook up a 3-way. Another friend of mine hook up a 3-way. I call him. Yo, you ready? Cue the tape up. He'd cue the tape up and play it. Play the beats, and everybody would just lose their mind. Like, oh my God, where did he get these? Like, how did he do this? And they want to meet up at the school the next day. Meet up at the school, and he'd bring a beat tape. And it got to the point he started letting people come over. And he had tapes around. So people would get sticky fingers and take this tape, take this tape. So what he did was, I don't know how the hell he did this. He fast forwarded the tape and then placed the beats in the middle of the fucking tape. So you rewind it, you didn't get shit. You fast forward, you didn't get shit. You had to rewind it to the middle of the tape, and that's when it would play. So if you picked up a tape, you try to rewind it, it's nothing there. You fast forward, it's nothing there. You have to fast forward it because he showed me the trick. He said you got to fast forward into the tape, and it's right there in the middle.
Amazing.
And I was like, wow, this is crazy, crazy. But yeah, watching Dilla and Slum, that always been a big inspiration. That's always going to be the foundation of what we do collectively as a family, as Frank and Dank, as any of us. They first. That's the staple. If it wasn't for them, there wouldn't be none of us. They took the major risks, and like Dilla would say, people got to understand all the disappointment that they had to go through. Dilla is the GOAT for all the letdown that they had to go through before they got accepted. So the culture appreciated what they had did, because what they had did was something totally different than what everybody else had been doing and was trying to do. It was a totally different sound, 3 different brothers with 3 different type of flows. We know the beats was super crazy. And each beat that they recorded on, they married. So the thing with Dilla tracks, everybody can rap over a Dilla beat, but the essence of it is to marry the track. A lot of people rapped over tracks, but a lot of them didn't marry it.
So it didn't mesh well.
Yeah, it was good, but we know when it's a certain thing. Some of the greats rapped over Dilla shit, and it still didn't. They might think, but the real heads know it didn't.
Yeah, because it's tough to get Dilla time right.
Yeah, it's a certain thing. So that's just been the staple for the journey, and the task don't never change, and the people in the forefront don't ever change. Whether we have lost them and then gone to other place, it's still the same. Still the same mode. Still the same mission. Still the same journey. Till we done. We don't push music for dollars, for money. You do that when you're young. When you learn and mature, you don't push this music to get $1, because you devalue it with that. You don't appreciate it. For years and years, I was chasing the music to earn, till I came to the crossroad and understood I didn't get in it to have a platinum record or tons of money. I just wanted to be an artist. I wanted to see the world. And if I stopped doing music right this minute, my mission was complete. My journey is solidified. To still tour off things I recorded in the 90s. And thank God for the fans. And with me, it ain't fans. I don't have fans. All my fans are turned over to be family members. If you look and see, if I comment to anybody you found, there ain't no goddamn fan. I don't know what that shit is. Everybody keep calling me out, you a fan? No, I don't know what that is no more. People that connect, that been riding with you for years, like a friend, you know since you were a kid, they turn over to be family. Not a friend. A friend is somebody you just knowing. A family member, a fan, grow with you through your journey. And that's what solidified that for me. Yeah.
So we already talked about how you, Frank, and Dilla were all friends in school. The 3 of you were originally dancers. Did you ever perform anywhere?
Oh my God. I performed everywhere. You know what I mean? Everywhere. High school, elementary, churches. I remember we did this show at the church. Frank was the DJ. Dilla was the MC. and me and my boy Thurman was the dancers. We had big. Our face was about my head this big. My boy Thurman face was that big too, and
I don't want to see pictures of that.
We had went to we worked at the grocery store, and Frank and Dilla called me at work. I was in the 9th grade, and he's like, "Yo, you got to come to the church. I need you and Thurman to come dance for me." Okay. So we get off work. I was a baggy. We ran to the church. We put on some old school starter coats with the hoodie. Jumped on the stage. Did this crazy routine. All the church people clapped and everything. Couldn't believe it. It was the most wickedest thing. And then one of my best friends, Bud, that I went to high school with, we killed it. Like from the 9th to the 12th grade, like we danced all over the motherfucking place. I mean, like all over the place. Putting on the Hinge talent shows, different rappers, like crazy shit. We used to go to this club called the Dankery every Saturday, every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But Saturday was the biggest thing. So everybody go there. We got this dance called the Jit. It's a Detroit dance. The Jit.
I know that.
And Chicago got the Juke. So we always challenge Chicago with the dances. So we know how to Jit and do hip hop. So at this club, it was more like a jiggy club. So they only play maybe 2 or 3 hip hop songs. So when these 3 hip hop songs come on, you better get to the floor fast and dance and get it in, because that's it. That's all you're gonna get. My cousin Stan, he's a veteran from the dancery. He used to be one of the jitters. We taught him how to jit. He used to be tight with his jit. He used to be tight. We used to love it. But that was like growing up. He had a really phenomenal childhood. Growing up on the east side of Detroit. All positive, all love. And we was together. When we was imitating your city. We was imitating it. We was imitating all the things that we seen. From the music, from the style, from the clothes. I kind of lost my goddamn mind with it. I had 2 gold teeth. All my eyebrows sliced up, my front, my fade, African beads, freaky live shirts, super baggy dress pants. I might wear a colorful suit the next day to school. They're like, yo, you straight out of the video. Like the basketball players in school, they want to come pull my fade down, like just all types of crazy stuff. Frank used to come to lunch every day in the lunchroom. So right here in the corner, they had the cool kids. On the side, it's the cool kids. In the back, you had the kids that rap and do this, that, and another. But we was the cool kids, so we stayed in the front. So every day, Frank would come out of the goddamn, from getting his lunch, jump in front of the table, do the highest split ever. And you cock it up. Hey, what's up? Every single day. Every day. And every day he did that. The cool kids, the cool girls, like, oh my God, Frank! Oh my God! He loved that. He loved that part. He loved that. It's crazy, but it was growing up. The hip hop was just made it just. They didn't really growing up. They didn't understand what hip hop was. A lot of different forms. We taught them what it was. Even like with the talent show, they didn't know what hip hop was, and we educated them and taught them rap and dance. And Fatien taught a lot of the dudes how to rap just for the talent show. It was just a big part of us, just a super big part. Yeah.
When I interviewed Ma Duke some years ago, she mentioned something about the performances at the church, and she's like, there has to be a video somewhere. I was like, oh my God, someone needs to find that.
The Wrights brothers, shout out Big Terrence, they got the, Terrence's father was the preacher at the church. So they would videotape all of the services. So he actually has the tape.
Oh.
He got the tape. And then that's when Dilla called himself Silk, MC
Right.
Silk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go to another theme. When we was kids, we had Ouija from the Dramatics put us all in a group.
Mm-hmm.
So the Ouija from the Dramatics came over my Dukes in them house, and my Dukes, Mr. Yancey, came to get my mother to let her know that Ouija from the Dramatics wanted to put us in a group. So we was going to take some pictures for Jet Magazine and all
Oh,
this crazy stuff. We couldn't even believe it. So Ouija from the Dramatics was one of my mother's favorite singers. So she couldn't believe it. She got roses in her. She said, "Oh my God, I gotta get these roses over here. Ouija over there, girl." She's like, "Nisa, you gotta come on, my dude, come on. Nisa, you gotta come on. Ouija over there." She's like, "Oh, for real? Oh my God, I can't." So they were stoked. When they got Frank Mama knew who Ouija was. Everybody, that was their era of
mm-hmm.
of um Dramatics was like Boys to Men to them. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
my Dukes and Mr. Yancey educated my mother and Frank mother what this hip hop shit was. Because it wasn't for them, she wouldn't have never understood it. And I thank my Dukes a whole lot for educating her what it was. Because with educating her, that let her give me the chance to go ahead and pursue it. So my mother was really firm. Stand in the house, you gotta have a job. Don't give a fuck what it is. You gotta put some bread, some milk in the refrigerator. Gotta pay a bill. You gotta be responsible. You know, just laying around sitting on the couch. So I thank my Dukes and Mr. Yancey for educating her what the hip hop was.
Mm-hmm.
So that led my mother to believe and give me a chance when Dilla finally came. Because Dilla was touring like crazy. The Slum was touring. They was touring with Tribe. The only people that went would be Slum, Frank, and Fat Cat. They would be going touring with them. Frank and Fat Cat would be their hype man.
Right.
I still be at the plant working. YG will go to. I still be at the plant working. I worked at Edna Steel right there on Mound Road. It's a sub plant for Chrysler, midnight shift. And they got back. And I used to call Dilla right over, leave him a message, "Yo, save me, man, save me." I leave a message every day. My code was 56. Leave a message. You don't do nothing, Dank. You better leave a message. So I made sure I did that. So when they got back, he had been traveling. He's in a lot of different studios out in New York, and they were smoking all crazy. Premier, Alchemist, all them niggas were smoking. Black Thought, he wasn't smoking no weed. So when he got back, he was like, "Dank, you gotta come to the crib. Won't you teach me how to roll up? Teach me how to smoke." Okay. So I pulled up in
You know who told me that story? Hold on, really quick. You know who told me that story? Dave, New York.
Wow. So I pulled up in a 1987 Toyota Cressida. So when I started the car, it said, there it go. So I pulled up to the house. I seen the Rover outside. Dilla had a 50th edition indigo blue Range Rover. And he had a Lexus 450. Unheard of to be having in Detroit in the hood.
Mm-hmm.
The only people who got this type of vehicles was a doctor or lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
So he had them frazzled with this type of stuff. So I get out the car, ring the doorbell, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. So I hear him running up the stairs. "Dank, what up, though? Hey, come in." Got to run back downstairs. Frank there, "What up, nigga? Hey, what up, though?" We laugh, joking. "Yo, you gotta show us. You gotta show us how to roll." I'm like, "Y'all niggas want to smoke now? For real? Okay." So I said, "Let's go to the gas station so we can get some blunts."
Mm-hmm.
I got some weed with me, so we can just smoke this. "Oh, for real? Okay. What car you got outside?" So I got this Toyota Cressida. I said, "Don't laugh at my car and shit." He's like, "We ain't gonna laugh. We ain't gonna laugh. We ain't gonna laugh." I said, "It's gonna scoot. Don't laugh." He's like, "We ain't gonna laugh." So I put them in the car and started up and so they started
Everyone's
laughing and
cracking
shit.
up.
I'm like, man. So they laughing. So I go ahead on. Big shout out to Apple. What up, cuzzo? I keep going. So some guys pulled up on us in a Tahoe, new Tahoe, sounds banging. So they stunned it on us. So Dilla was like, man, take me back. So he was pissed because he had those two vehicles at the crib that was crazy, and these guys came and stunned it. So I dropped them off, rolled a blunt. I said, yo, I gotta go. I gotta go to work and shit. Went to work, got off. Down the street from Dilla, my boy Mike Move, shout out Mike Move. All the 6 Mile homies record at the studio down the street. So I go down there and record when Dilla wasn't there. So they let me come down there and fuck with them too. That was the family. I record. So I was in the studio recording some with my young guys, my little cousin Chop, and my boy Mo was like, "Yo, dang, somebody out here to see you." I was like, "Yo, tell them they gotta wait, man. I've been at work all day. Let me lay this verse." And I laid the verse. I ad-libbed it. And when I came out the studio, Dilla was standing right there. And I was like, "Oh my fucking God." He's like, "Hell yeah, dang, that's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah." He said, "Tell everybody you out." I'm like, "What you mean?" "Tell everybody you out. I gotta talk to you." So took a picture with everybody. When it sat in the Rover, he's like, "I talked to Frank. I'm ready. I need you to go home and tell your mama you got to quit your job." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm ready, dang. I'm ready." I'm like, man. So I cried like a motherfucker. Cried. He's like, "Stop crying, nigga. It's good. We good. We good, nigga. Stop crying." I was like, crying like a baby and shit. I was like, "For real?" He was like, "Yeah. We don't leave you here, nigga. We good. So go home, tell your mama you got to quit the job." So I pulled up to the crib, tiptoed in the house, knocked on my mom's door. "Hey, Mom, can I talk to you for a minute?" "Derek, what you want?" I'm like, "Shit. Can I talk to you, Mom? What you want?" I say, "Dilla ready." She say, "James ready for real, Derek?" I said, "Mom, he ready." So I gotta quit the job. She said, "Derek, James ready. He ready for real?" I said, "Yeah, Mom, he ready."
She wasn't ready to believe it though.
And she was like, "You know what? Go ahead and quit that job, baby. I got you." Quit the job. I ain't look back. I ain't look back. He did everything he said he was gonna do. My first everything was with him. My first passport, my first luxury car, my first big bank account, my first $500,000, my first tour, um, my first fucking everything from that guy. Forever grateful, forever thankful for all his blessings and everything he did. Tons of niggas rap better than me. Tons. That wasn't it. He didn't give a fuck about that. What he cared about was loyalty. A true friend. They don't want nothing from me. Nothing at all. This man, I know he'd die for me. I know he will. He'd take it for me. I've known him since I was a kid. So I'd be damned if I let him stay here in this motherfucking hood
Mm-hmm.
If I got to teach them, I'm going to teach them. And like I said, it wasn't an easy fucking task. It wasn't supposed to be easy. I mean, curveball after curveball.
Right.
And it was for a reason. If he just gave it to you, then it wouldn't amount for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was blood, sweat, and tears. Tough love, brother love. I mean, tough love. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. This is tough love. You record a whole fucking album. The label loves it. You in a meeting with the president, the vice president, your A&R. You got Beehive, Jay-Z's first cousin, your manager. Your budget is up. You got $675,000 as your first record deal. You get a $50,000 signing bonus. And he just wants you to succeed. But then he tell you in the meeting, you're not using none of the music that got you the deal. I'm like, what? In front of the president. And I didn't even know. To there. Yeah, Dan, tell him you're not using none of that music. Huh? No? So after the meeting was over, I was like, Dylan, we're not using none of that? No, we doing all new shit. I'm like, oh shit. So what he did was he challenged us. The work was already done.
Mm-hmm.
The only person that had been working would have been him, is just mixing and mastering. He already had laid it. So he made us go in and do something 48 hours. We had the track list before we even had the songs. Who the fuck do that? We all the track list, the name of the album, everything before we even recorded it. We sat at my mother's table. Dylan gave us a piece of paper. Come on, niggas, give me the title of the first song. We ain't even recorded it yet. We had to give it. One of the skits. We trying to think of. Come on now. Come on, man. Got more songs to do. My mom got a Shar-Pei cat. It looked like a tiger, a Bengal cat. It's a Shar-Pei cat. It's big like a tiger. The cat food was there. The cat food was called Right Bites. So we named the fucking skit Right Bites. My Dukes. We called it My Dukes on My Dukes. When my mama came in the door, hey, what's up, My Dukes? My Dukes, you're gonna call that My Dukes. Marijuana, because we rolling up weed. Marijuana. Street lights. We had been sitting at the table all goddamn day. The street lights had came on. Street lights. So it's just, what I'm getting at is, it's just been tough love for us to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
In the studio, Dylan want one take. One take. You don't want 2, 3, 4, one motherfucking take. Be prepared. And that's what he taught us.
Right.
All the little things all over the years, it's just taught us to be efficient at what we doing now. Not then, for the present now. Yes.
You just talked about the song titles, but one of my questions is, why did you choose to call the album 48 Hours?
So we had 48 hours to decide the track. We had 48 hours to decide everything.
Okay.
Everything was, I say everything was right there. We got 48 hours to decide this, that, and the other. Period. In all of the sessions to record 48 hours. All the sessions was closed. We didn't have no homeboys coming, chilling, none of that. We went from the studio from Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, every single day. and we'd be pissed if we couldn't book no extra time. And we couldn't get no extra time because Royce the 5'9", he was using the studio too. D12, they was using studio too. So we got Frank and Dank session, then Dilla session, then Royce the 5'9" session, then D12 session. So everybody trying to book the time at this place we call Studio A. Shout out to everybody at Studio A. Legendary place. Merlin and them, it was dope. Till we to MCA helped us build the studio in Dilla Crib. So once we built the studio in Dilla Crib, whoo, that was it. Dilla bought me the motherfucking Michael Jackson microphone. Gold fucking microphone. It was my own personal fucking mic. It's mine. It's bought for me. No fucking body else. With that studio, people was not allowed to be in that studio. It wasn't made for extra people.
For sharing.
It was set up for us because we couldn't book the time that we needed to record. So we helped pay for that motherfucking studio. So like when you see this fucking thing we put up called Dilla Studios, I'm just going to talk about this real fast and be done with it.
Yeah, no,
Dilla Studios. So me and Frank gave everybody an opportunity to look inside Dilla Studios. And with this Dilla Studio thing, I haven't looked at it in a long time. Dilla J just put it up on his page. I stopped looking at it because the type of comments, the disrespect that people have is so fucking, is when I mean sad.
Yeah.
We have a certain type of flow when we're in the studio. And the flow is like this. We're going to have the weed. So they're going to buy some magazines. And I'm going to tell them a story. Because like I said, I've known them since 1984. That's a long fucking time. Niggas is not even relevant and can't even come nowhere even close to that type of shit.
Right.
So to have a friend that you have known from back all the way back then till now, and that can tell you this story, that story, this story, that story, that story. It's a conversation. It makes an individual feel good because you had done all this as a kid together. So when we got to traveling, Dilla made sure Frank was right here and I'm right here. My brother on the right, my brother on the left. If you can't get 3 tickets, I'm not coming. I don't give a fuck who you is. I'm not coming. I'm not coming. I'm not coming. So with the Dilla Studios, the comments was so damn disrespectful. I have Dilla Studios too right now. I have it. What I'm going to do for everybody this week and next week, they're going to see something. I'm going to destroy it in front of everybody. Motherfuckers would never, ever, ever, ever. I watched it enough. I'm not giving it to nobody. Nobody's getting, I'm busting the fucking thing. Just because all of the comments. Like I said, Dilla buy the weed, buy the magazines. Frank read the magazines. And I tell the stories. We always conversate and laugh and enjoy while Dilla playing the fucking records, listening to something. He enjoyed that. He ain't got to be talking. Common always loved it. When we kicking it and this is that and other. So for people like, oh, they talking too much. Oh, Dilla trying to work. Won't you just sit back and appreciate the phenomenal, the blessed footage that you getting blessed to see? Y'all are reading it. They reading it all wrong. So it's kind of disrespectful. Kind of pinched me a little bit.
Right.
But I said, you know what? They can't fuck with it because I got all this. They'll never be able to fuck with it because I got all this. I can watch them forever. Old school shit. They never had none of that shit. So that right there, that's it. That's what we used to do. Shout out Frank Nitty.
I was just gonna say your boy just came in.
That's what we do. We made each other feel good while we in the sessions. We made it comfortable. We made it for Dilla can be able to work. Dilla used to have a ton of fucking remixes. Me and Frank got in there with him. One no more remixes. He did it all. Because we gave him the time to do it. We worked with him. And it wasn't always about me and Frank rapping. It was just giving our brother that moral support that no one else could give him. No fucking one could give him this type of moral support. Because at the end of the day, they didn't know him. They know the beat maker, but they didn't know James DeWitt and Yancey. You know what I mean? That's a different task, but that's it. That's it.
Dank, how did the St. Louis LP show your growth as an artist, but also serve as an homage to where you started?
Ooh. With St. Louis, for that record to be called St. Louis, that was real big for my brother Nitty.
Yeah, he told me the story. I had no idea.
It was real big. St. Louis is my block. And what we did with St. Louis been so good to myself, my family, Frank, Dilla. It's just a place where we can go and just chill, kick it. It's all love. Everybody meet on St. Louis. And I salute my brother Frank because he came up. He was like, dang, let's name the record St. Louis. And one of my good friends, Walter Harris, he couldn't believe that me and Frank named the record St. Louis. It really touched his heart. He from St. Louis. His grandma from St. Louis. His whole family from St. Louis. We met him in 1984 just as well. He just moved on the block 2 months before I did. Everybody whipped through St. Louis some form of fashion if they from Detroit, especially from the east side or know us. Growing as an artist, what helped it grow was being able to connect with the OGs like Bumpy Knuckles, Be Real, having T3 come in and salute it. Classic Illa J, Sus come to sing on the record. Each record, each piece of material that me and Frank has ever done, it's always been a level up in some type of form or way.
Right.
Whether it's the visual, the pen, or just getting down to the fact of having a blessed interview with a veteran journalist like yourself. I didn't know you was in the business like that for 11 plus years.
For myself.
I'm really blessed to be on your platform to even have a conversation. You know what I mean? That's real big. That's growth to when you be able to connect with some veterans in the business, in their craft, and be able to work and conversate and connect and do things. That's growth in itself.
We've always had good conversations, though.
The music is all blessed. The producer that was picked for the project, they all leveled up on their own endeavor. Tone Mason, Carnine, Landscape, Kazal, Dilla. Dilla did Young Buck, and that's 1995. And that's some timeless shit. Even with that, Lil Cuzzo gave me the goddamn track, and I didn't even have it. Somebody I didn't even know, I met on Instagram, gave me my motherfucking first track that I had. I'm like, how the fuck did you get this? Like, goddamn, this is crazy. So the music has always moved in a way where you can see it come up. As I look back at all the work that me and Frank did, each piece always been, okay, was right here, then it go right here, then it go right here. Not long. No, it takes the time. Because like I always say, this shit is never a layup. No matter how older I am or how many times I approach this, it's never a layup. It's still the same process of study, think about it, attack it. Still the same. It's no, oh, let's cut this corner, this is that and the other. When you're doing a job, you do it correctly one time, and that should be good.
Could it be a shot from 3?
Business makes the project level up. Not in my wildest dream that we would have Delicious Vinyl in our corner. Truly appreciate Mike, brother, the whole staff over at Delicious Vinyl. They look after Frank and Dang, Illa, Frank Nitty. They look out. I appreciate their love and support all the way through. It's always 100. From being a kid, listening to Tone Loc, Young MC, to be able to be in the same room with Mike Ross and kick it with him and his brother about business and different things, and to help me, and most of all, to help my brother Frank. I appreciate that 1,000, because I put that record in his goddamn crate for us to listen to. That Tone Loc and that Young MC. We always remember eating a slice of pizza. So it just boggles my mind. So those things, not always with the pen, it's the connection with the people that help you with the process to make it the best it can be, and that helps it level up. We're gonna be who we gonna be in the pen. Each story, each rhyme get a little bit more personal, a little bit more positive, a little bit more caring. Yeah, and that's the feel of it.
Dank, I've got some more questions, but we're coming up on an hour. Are you cool if I restart and you jump?
No, let's go. Keep going. No, keep going, because I don't talk my mouth off too much. I don't talk too much.
No. Well, I need to restart a new one because this one's about to run out. We only get an hour. So I'm gonna end this. And then start a new one.
Okay. For sure. Okay.
See you in a minute.
Okay.